Hello and welcome. I'm Jon Garlick. I'm in here with Sheriff Matthew Wade, and this is Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Morning, Sheriff.
Oh, it's a good day to be on the show. I tell you what.
It's air conditioned in here.
It's air conditioned. It's hot. It's summertime. People are out doing things, and with that being, we're seeing a little uptick in activity with the heat. People get tempers flare, and things seem to increase. So.
Yep, and what increased last week was the count. Take a look.
Absolutely. 6 arrests, 5,023 people arrested, all because somebody was willing to help us. It truly is a community effort. We cannot do this without you.
Look at that, 6 people. Yep, the community's calling in and helping Calhoun County be a safer place. Speaking about community participation, next week we have...
It's so important. June the 21st is an election. People seem to trail off on runoff elections, but June 21st, we have some important races coming up. We want you to go vote. You'll have it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. next Tuesday, a week from today, if you're watching live. If not, but June the 21st, there's a U.S. Senate race and Alabama Senate race that's for runoffs and a House seat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a House seat in Calhoun County. So it's very important that you do that. Go vote.
Go vote, make your voice heard, and come back to us after this break. We're going to have the first half of the lineup right here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Al Lee Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on sexual abuse first, possession of a controlled substance, bribing a public servant, promoting prison contraband, possession of marijuana first, selling and delivering drug paraphernalia, and bond revocation on possession of marijuana first, bribing a public servant, and selling and delivering drug paraphernalia. And this is Michael Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham, last known to be living in Talladega. He's wanted for a failure to appear on certain persons forbidden to possess a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And meet Michael Bentley. Mr. Bentley, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on manufacturing of a controlled substance and assault second. And this is Terry Cruz. Mr. Cruz, last known to be living in Huntsville. He's wanted on a probation violation for unlawful manufacture of a controlled substance. We'd like you to meet Marcus Gamble. Mr. Gamble, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted on a probation violation for burglary third times 2. This is Abu Bakr, or Abu Bakar Dumbia, last known to be living in Atlanta. He's wanted for probation violation and trafficking in stolen identities. And we'd like you to meet Lauren Disson. Miss Disson, last known to be living in Munford. She's wanted for forgery third. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that half of the lineup. You know where they are. If you do, call the sheriff's office. You call, they haul. We are here with Kip Chappell. You may know Kip from our Shop 24 on Monday nights. He's there every now and again. Kip, you're doing a lot of stuff. And right now, we're going to be talking in a minute about you being the Oxfordfest event coordinator, right?
Yes, sir.
But why don't you give us a little background where you've been and why you're doing what you're doing now?
John, I really like people, and I got into doing this with the city. I've always been kind of a people person, and so started doing the position as event coordinator, and raise money for the city of Oxford. And what we do is we raise the money. We give a lot of the funds goes to the League of Our Own and Rainbow Omega.
Oh, okay.
Two very worthwhile causes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're excited about the July the 2nd, the Oxfordfest. Comes around every year, and we're like to let the viewers know that it starts from 8 a.m. and goes to 1 p.m. And we have the car show starts at that time, and there'll be a lot of things, activities, things to do.
So that's July
the 2nd.
Is that when the fireworks are going to be too?
Yes. Yeah. The fireworks will be later that night, and the car show will start from 8 o'clock to 1.
And where will that be?
That'll be at the Oxford Civic Center.
Okay, so
the
right
car
there
show.
where the fireworks are.
Right.
Early in the day, you need to get there.
That's right.
There'll be a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, there's a
Oh, yeah.
splash pad for the kids. There's all kinds of activities that go on that day. It's a big deal.
That's right. And we have one good thing is that there's people comes from everywhere to the car show. They come from Georgia, Albertville, Birmingham, all over. And they bring their cars in from different cars like hot rods, street rods, and antique cars. And a lot of the local clubs here in Calhoun County, they always come and participate.
So is there a criteria for the cars that you bring into the car show?
Oh, no, sir. Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. Just bring your car in. And we have a Longhorn Steakhouse here in Oxford. Is going to give everybody a free lunch bringing their car in.
Really?
So,
I think I'll bring my
yeah.
beat-up Miata in just for the...
Yeah, come on. come on.
Wow. So what would be the oldest kind of cars that you've had at these car shows?
We've had all the way up to like a 56 Chevrolet, and we've seen a lot of those 66. Different types of cars, Ford, Chevrolet, and we've seen a lot of the Biscaynes, and the Galaxies.
Wow.
We've seen a lot of those.
You know, the sheriff's office has cars that go back a ways, even still
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It would have been neat if the sheriffs had always retained one car from each of their terms. We'd have classic, maybe a Model A.
There's no telling. There's no telling.
We enjoy it every year, and a lot of people participate. Seeing a lot of people comes out, and we have a good time. And
So if you're a car club and you want to get your car on the show, how do they do that?
they can go to the email. They can go kip.chappell at oxfordalabama.gov, and they can send me an email, and then I will send them the information back to get registered.
Is there a cost for them to register those cars?
That's $10 per car.
Oh, really?
$10 per car. And
You can't get a lunch at Longhorns for $10.
That's
for sure.
exactly right. That's exactly right. And
Wow.
so we during that time and people can pay at the door. Starting at 8 o'clock that morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
The show itself is open to the public. There's no admission fee for the public to get in there, or is there?
Yes, sir. No admission. Just come on in and have a good time, and I'll see all the different cars.
How many cars you expect?
We're expecting this time maybe over 150 cars.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. We had a large one last year, so we're participating, doubling it this year.
You get any Jaguars?
Hey, I see you drive a Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
Jaguars.
yeah. Bring it on.
Bring it
on.
Yeah, maybe not, but you don't
Yeah.
see many Jaguars?
Yeah,
in there?
you
Any
don't.
Ferraris,
Yeah,
Maseratis,
yeah,
anything
you-
fancy in there? Or these are cool?
We've got a lot of Corvettes.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of Corvettes club that will be coming, bringing their cars, and so.
There used to be a Ferrari club that came to town every now and again. Hit that
Oh.
that track down south there, Sheriff. What's that track? The motorcycle track that's in south of Mumford.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they used to come. You'd see them. They'd stay at the old Victoria, and you'd have all these Ferraris laying around. It was kind of cool.
I like to tell everybody that I'm glad to be with the city of Oxford as a event coordinator. I love what I do. I love people, and I love the cars. And since this has all happened, I had a brain tumor that happened last November. It was unexpectedly, and so God is good. I'm glad to be back out, and so I would like to share that with the viewers.
Well, we'll talk about that. We're going to
Yeah.
take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about all that stuff. But stay with us. Stay tuned for the second half of the lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Ginger Horton. Miss Horton, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for theft of property first. Take a look at Khalil Smith. Mr. Smith, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for attempted burglary second and robbery first. And this is Nicholas Williams. Mr. Williams, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for theft of property third. Take a look at Julia Beam. Miss Beam, last known to be living in Ohatchee. She's wanted for theft of property first, motor vehicle. And meet Dustin Pruitt. Mr. Pruitt, last known to be living in Gadsden. He's wanted on a probation revocation for possession of a controlled substance. And we'd like you to have a look at Warren Jones Sr. Mr. Jones, last known to be living in Talladega, he's wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 1-833-251-7867. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that half of the lineup. You know where they are. If you do, give the sheriff a call. You call. They haul. We're here with Kip Chappell. Kip is the event coordinator for the city of Oxford and does some helpful stuff here for TV 24 and sometimes co-hosts on Shop 24.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
Kip,
sir.
when we went to break, you were talking about some serious medical stuff with you. So why don't
yes.
you start over and tell us how
Sure.
that all came about?
Sure. I was working and got really bad sick, John, and went to the doctor and they said I had COVID. And I had the COVID symptoms. Had a lot of headaches back to back, and so when I went to the doctor, I went home and I got worse. I got sick. And so I go back to the doctor, and they did a CAT scan, and they found out that I had a brain tumor in my pituitary gland. Wow. And so I go to UAB, and this is something that it could not wait. It had to be taken out immediately. So they went ahead and got in Christian Riley, the medical surgeon there, told me that she would do the surgery that next morning. So the next morning they removed it. Thank God it was not cancer, and so I've been doing really good ever since. So let's praise God.
Scary times.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that is pretty scary. So
Yeah.
how long were you in the hospital with that?
I was in the hospital for over close to a month.
Really?
Close to a month. Immune system would not counteract with my body and everything, so they kept me there a month. I got back and stayed at home for over a month and a half, and then I got back out working. And so I'm glad to be back out with people and glad to be back out with the city.
People gripe about work, me being one of those people, but it's always kind of the thing that you, when you go to work every day, you gripe about having to work, but if all that's kind of taken away from you and you're at home, my father says retirement's not all it's cracked up to be.
That's right.
So being at home and not being around people and being able to move around and do things is tough.
That's right, Sheriff Wade, that's right.
Yeah, people
Well, I'm
like
glad
to
you're
be
doing better.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
So they thought you had COVID. So from the time you went in feeling poorly and they said, oh, you've got COVID, to when they discovered the tumor, how long was that?
That was probably about a week.
Wow.
A week. I got really, really bad, and I went back in, and that's when they did the CAT scan. They thought the symptoms that I had, having headaches, they thought it was COVID symptoms. And so, it was during the pandemic and everything, so I was glad I was able to get to UAB in time to remove this.
We guys are pretty stubborn when it comes to that stuff. So who prompted you to go back in? Because I might have laid there with a headache going, this will pass.
My wife did. My wife told me, said, you got to go back in. You're getting really bad. And so great doctors at both places, RMC and also UAB, was very good.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So now, after post-surgery and you've recovered, and is there anything different?
I'm dealing with a lot of the, hot one minute, cold 1 minute. I'm dealing with a lot with the hormones from the surgery. Because when they took out the pituitary gland, it missed a lot of my organs and everything. So I have to take medication for it, and so I'm doing really well.
So you have hot flashes and cold flashes.
That's right.
That's because you had a woman surgeon.
That's right.
That's payback.
That's right.
He's like, we have an opportunity here. So now
I'm feeling super, and and like I said, I bounced back faster than that I expected to, and so I'm glad to be out in the community and doing things.
So you're at 100%. What were you doing before? What were you doing for a living before that?
Me and my wife, we have a medical store. We we do medical supplies. We do things like CPAP supplies, oxygen supplies. We've had the store over 16 years here in Oxford.
So completely unrelated. When I was flying, I wanted to get, you can go on catalogs for airplanes and get little oxygen bottles that you can fly with, and you just get them online.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd stop by the store, and it was a medical
You had to have
store.
a prescription.
You gotta have a prescription. So why can I buy oxygen bottles online from a pilot supply store, and I can't buy them from locally? Why is that? Nobody knows. And yet we had oxygen bars. Remember the oxygen bar we had in Jacksonville?
No, I do not.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't go on bars.
It was an oxygen bar. You go in there and you get a little oxygen up your nose. We
That's
arrested
right.
somebody in the tattoo parlor next to that place.
Oh.
You were there. You might have been there. I'm very sure you were.
We got him.
Well, okay, so there's
Trying to
no
tally
excuse for that. So you ought to be able to go buy oxygen locally or just go
Right,
outside and breathe
that's
it.
right.
Well, we're glad that you're back to feeling 100% and that you're working with TV24 in the city of Oxford with these car shows. That's awesome.
And one thing that's amazing is in just a couple of weeks, it's July the 2nd. July the 4th weekend is in about 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks. And, go out and
right.
enjoy the
That's right.
fireworks,
That's
enjoy
right.
all that Oxford offers to people, and they do offer a lot.
That's right.
They
That's
do
right.
offer a lot. So we're going to take a break.
Yeah,
We'll be
thank
back
you.
with the Crime Stoppers portion and the crazy criminal. So stay with us here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of the show where we ask you to help us with this case. So on June 6th, a refrigeration compressor and 250 feet of copper wire were stolen from a business on Highway 431 in Alexandria. A white Ford F-150 with a silver trailer and a white four-door Chrysler occupied by 4 individuals were seen loading up that stolen property. And that's it for the Crime Stoppers case. If you know anything about that case, and man, we hope you do, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number, 1-833-251-7867.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
This is our favorite part of the show, Sheriff.
It is. So, you ever go to a website, you need more information?
Oh, yeah. all the time.
You go there and it says contact us, and you go and you put your name in, and Matthew Wade, and it says, you give a little brief description of, what your problem is or what you're trying to get the information from the website on, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, we bring a picture up of Wendy here. Wendy Wing went to a website called rentahitman.com. So, you read that and you go rentahitman.com, and she went to the contact part and put her name in, and in the part she said she'd like to get a hitman to kill her ex-husband. Well, the interesting thing is Rent a Hitman website is for computer hacking. It's not for killing somebody. That's just the name of the company that a person, they name their company that, and what they do for a living is they protect people's online material from getting hacked by intruders.
Rent a Hitman.
Rent a Hitman.
That sounds like something Philip Smith would have done.
Maybe so, but so she goes in and says she wants to kill her husband. So the owner of the website saw this information and clearly knew that it wasn't his services that she was wanting. He turned it over to law enforcement, and she's been arrested for attempted murder on her ex-husband. Thank God that she wasn't real smart and he's still alive, but just because it says rentahitman.com doesn't mean it's actually a hitman. Come on, people. If it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Bonjour. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I hope she had a good defense attorney.
Yeah.
That's Michigan law.
Yeah, Michigan law.
Well, very good. Sheriff, remind everybody we got election next week.
Election June the 21st. Go vote. Be patriotic. Our country was founded on this, and we need to make sure that we exercise our right. If a small turnout, is going to be, it will affect the election. So we need the biggest turnout as we can have to make sure people's voices are heard.
So we got what's up in this ballot?
U.S. Senator, state senator, and a state representative, all are in runoffs. And so we need you to go vote, make your voice heard, quit complaining if you don't. So
There you go. Go vote next week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That's right.
And tune in to us again next week. We hope to see you here, but not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.